So, AI readiness. This is the buzzword of, well, pretty much every industry these days, right?
Right.
And you're smart to be getting ahead of the game here, wanting to really dig into how to prepare your business for AI.
It's not just a question of if and more. It's how, right?
Exactly. And judging from the stack of reports and articles you sent our way, you're serious about getting this, right?
Absolutely. It's great to see that level of commitment.
Well, that's where this deep dive comes in. We're going to break down these materials, highlight the must-knows, and hopefully uncover some surprising stuff that gets you thinking in new ways.
I love it. And one thing that really struck me, looking at both the AI Readiness Overview presentation and the Guide from Data Meaning, is that this isn't just about a tech upgrade, it's bigger than that.
How so?
It's a total realignment. They both emphasize that you have to align AI with your specific business goals and values, or
Or what?
it's just not going to work. Maybe like using a high-powered microscope to, I don't know, change a tire.
Right, the right tool for the right job, always.
Right.
But it's easy to get swept up in the excitement of new tech.
Totally. And speaking of things that are easy to overlook, there's this stat in the presentation that kind of made me do a double take.
Okay, laid on me. But before we wrap up, I want to remind you that in the description, you'll find a link to request a free AI readiness consultation. It's a great opportunity to explore your business's AI readiness and see how you can start leveraging AI today. Don't miss out.
Sure. So, a full 29% of businesses, that's almost a third, say that the biggest hurdle they face with AI and machine learning is issues with data availability and data quality.
Wow, 29%, that's huge. I guess it's like you can have the fanciest of it in the world, but if your ingredients are no good, your cake is going to be a flop. What's that saying? Garbage in, garbage out?
Exactly. They actually use that exact phrase in the presentation.
Right.
AI is only as good as the data it learns from. Feed it flawed data, you're going to get flawed results.
And flawed results in a business context can mean
Big problems.
exactly. And that's not even getting into the whole AI becoming sentient and taking over the world scenario.
Yeah.
Although the presentation does get into some real-world risks of AI going wrong.
Oh, yeah, it definitely does. We can't just bury our heads in the sand and pretend there are no downsides.
For sure, and some of the stats they highlight are pretty eye-opening, like 32% of organizations are most concerned about damage to their brand reputation if AI goes wrong.
Yeah.
And another 31% are worried about revenue loss and losing in the public's trust.
Yeah, those are very real concerns. And this is where that concept of explainable AI comes in, which the AI Readiness, a comprehensive guide, really digs into.
Okay, so explainable AI, break that down for me. What exactly does that mean?
It means designing AI systems that can explain their decision-making process in a way that we, humans, can actually understand.
So, not just spitting out a decision, but actually showing its work, so to speak.
Exactly.
I like it.
It's about transparency, which helps build trust. And that ties directly back to that stat we mentioned earlier. 63% of organizations struggle with a lack of fairness and transparency in AI, and with a lack of tools to track how AI decisions are made. When you don't know why an AI is doing what it's doing, that's when things get really risky.
It's like the AI has a black box, and nobody wants to deal with a black box when it comes to their business.
Exactly. Trust is essential for both businesses and their customers.
Speaking of trust, we're going to take a quick break, but when we come back, we'll be diving into the practical steps you can take to make sure your AI journey is built on a solid foundation of, well, trust. Stay tuned. And we're back talking all things AI readiness. Before the break, we were diving into this idea of explainable AI, making sure we can actually understand how AI systems are making decisions.
Right. Transparency is key. And the good news is, both of these sources, the AI Readiness Overview and the Guide from Data Meaning, they both offer some really practical guidance for getting this right.
Okay, good, because, got to be honest, some of those stats we were discussing before the break, like the potential damage to brand reputation and the revenue loss,
It's not something you want to mess around with.
not at all. So, where do we even begin? If a business wants to approach AI the right way, what are the first steps?
Well, the presentation outlines a pretty clear phased approach, which I really appreciate.
Right on me.
So, step one, they call it an AI readiness assessment. It's like a health check, I guess you could say, for your organization.
Love it. Get your baseline. See where you're at.
Exactly. And this assessment, it looks at four key areas. First, your overall AI readiness, high level.
Makes sense.
Then, a data assessment, because like we talked about, data quality is everything.
Garbage in, garbage out.
You got it. Then, a technology assessment. What systems do you have in place? What are the gaps? And finally, and this one's really crucial,
Hit me.
a people assessment.
Oh, so it's not just about the tech itself. It's about the humans who are using it, managing it, interacting with it.
100%. Even with the most advanced AI, it's still humans who are ultimately responsible. It's like you can give someone the best power tools in the world, but if they don't know how to use them safely,
Things can go very wrong very quickly.
exactly. So you've got to assess the skills, the knowledge, the potential biases even of your team.
This is all fantastic stuff, and it makes total sense. But you know me, I'm always a sucker for a good real-world example. And thankfully, the AI Readiness, the comprehensive guide, is chock full.
Oh yeah, tons of case studies in there.
Anything that stood out to you is particularly relevant.
You know, given that so much of the material you sent over seems to be retail-focused, there was this one case study about a retail company that immediately sprang to mind.
Oh, perfect. Retail is kind of my jam, so laid on me.
So, this company, they were grappling with low customer engagement, high cart abandonment rates.
The story of every online retailer's life.
Right. And they decided, okay, let's try an AI-powered recommendation engine to personalize the online shopping experience.
So, like, instead of showing every customer the same products on the homepage, they're getting tailored suggestions, like a digital personal shopper.
Exactly. And the results were pretty impressive, to say the least. They saw a 25% increase in sales, and car abandonment dropped by 30%.
Wow, that's huge. The AI was basically playing digital matchmaker, connecting customers with products they were actually likely to buy.
Precisely. And that's what I love about these kinds of examples. They show that when AI is implemented strategically, ethically, it can have a massive impact.
Absolutely. So, we've got this great framework from the presentation. We've got inspiring case studies from the guidance.
We're on the right track?
We are, but when there's always a but. I noticed that both of these sources, they focus heavily on internal AI readiness, like getting your own house in order, but they don't talk as much about.
Their customers.
Exactly. You could have the most ethically sound, brilliantly designed AI in the world, but if your customers aren't ready for it,
It's all for nothing.
you know, it's like we've uncovered this whole other dimension of AI readiness, right?
It really is.
It's not just about getting your business ready, it's about getting your customers on board too.
And that's where things get really interesting, because how do you prepare your customers for AI? It's not like there's a handbook for this stuff.
Exactly, so where do we even begin?
Well, I think transparency is a good place to start. Be upfront about how you're using AI, what data it's based on, what's in it for the customer.
Show your work, so to speak.
Exactly, and this is where those responsible AI principles we talked about earlier become really crucial. It's one thing to say you're using AI ethically and responsibly, but
We've got to walk the walk too, right?
100%. Highlight those principles in your communication. Emphasize fairness, transparency, data privacy. Customers need to know that you're using AI with them, not against them.
For sure. But even with all the transparency of the world, let's be real, some people are still going to be wary of AI.
Oh, absolutely. It's new, it's complex, it can feel kind of scary.
It can. So, how do you address those concerns? How do you get those folks on board?
I think education is key. Provide clear, simple information about your AI. Maybe it's FAQs on your website, maybe it's blog posts, maybe it's interactive demos.
Oh, I love the demos idea. Let people actually see the AI in action.
Exactly. The more you demystify the technology, the less intimidating it becomes.
It's all about meeting your customers where they are.
100%.
Yeah,
Some might want all the nitty-gritty details. Others just need reassurance that you're not doing anything shady with their data.
Exactly. Well, this has been a fascinating deep dive, to say the least. We've covered so much ground: the potential risks of AI, the incredible opportunities, and everything in between.
From data quality to ethical frameworks to the psychology of customer trust, it's clear that AI readiness is about so much more than just the technology itself.
It really is.
Yeah,
It's about people, it's about values, it's about building a future where AI benefits everyone.
couldn't have said it better myself.
And on that note, we'll wrap things up here. Big thanks to our expert for sharing their insights, and to you, our listeners, for joining us on this journey into the world of AI readiness. Remember, the future is full of possibilities. And with the right approach, we can shape an AI-powered world that works for everyone. Until next time, keep exploring, keep asking questions, and keep those AI dreams alive.